Coach Krol, thank you very much for your time. 4-2 loss here. What were your thoughts on the game?
Firstly, I'd like to say well done to the opponent. Hard luck to the boys. One of those games where we didn't show a lot of heart. We didn't show that we want to win the game, and the opponent showed a bit of character. You know, even after we score, they came back. You know, and they came back scoring goals. So they show hunger on our boys. Our boys, they were not in the part.
Coach, going to this game, what was your tactical approach?
One of those games to say, okay, let the opponent play. We know that they will play long ball using Musa as a striker, so that allow them to play Musa, and we win the second ball from Musa, and we start playing. Unfortunately, the players they didn't implement as they were told from the training session. So it was one of those games where players didn't implement the instruction from the training, and we end up costing the game.
In the first half, it ended 1-1. I think the game was balanced. You had your chances, which you didn't take. What do you think went wrong in the second half?
I think we made a few mistakes, you know, at the back, whereby lack of communication, late marking, then end up we conceding goals like that. Then the more you concede, the more you lose the morale to come back. You know, the fighting spirit was no longer there.
Coach, we know in this league the rules say that you must start with 5 under-21 players, and what has become a norm in this league is that those players are immediately substituted for overage players. Was that the case for you when you made those 2 substitutions in the first 15 minutes of the game?
No, it's you know, when you work with students, you know, those 2 they come from the school. They were attending a class, so they are regular players who always play. And those 2 they are still coming. We're still grooming them. So one of those days where you don't want to kill the young man, you know, if you do many mistakes, you end up you're killing him. Doesn't no longer want to play football. So it was one of the days.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. Hard luck on the loss and all the best in your upcoming games.
Thank you, sir.
Coach Sia, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on a 4-2 win. What are your thoughts on the game?
No, I think it was a tactical game. We're happy about the 3 points, but I feel that there's still a lot of things to be corrected because of, I think we were lucky on several occasions. The team that we were playing with, we know that their strength is playing on second ball, and they're a team that they're more direct, playing on counter. So we knew that it wasn't going to be easy for us. And at the first half, we struggled to deal with the second balls, and then we struggled to deal with the long balls and the balls that were dropping inside in our box, and we were dropping too deep as well. So I would say we were lucky. We were lucky because first half, if I check, they should have been maybe 3 or 4 up as well. We should have been 3 or 4 up, but I would say we were lucky. It wasn't an easy game though.
Going into this game, Coach, what was your tactical approach?
Our tactical approach, it was that we mustn't give them room. We must press from the front. So if the guy who has the ball has space on him, is dangerous, because once we give them space, that is their game. Playing, I wouldn't say it's a route one, but it's every coach has a type of play, because of now what they are doing, they're good at it's playing down the channels. So we knew that now we need to be well sound. We must defend as a unit as well. And then if we can force them go wide, we know that at least they are not a threat, unlike we press aimlessly. So the first 10-15 minutes, we wanted to see how they were going to calm the approach to the game. Because if you checked, after getting that goal, they changed into a back 3. And then they used their full back. So we could identify that, thanks to the technical team that we are having and the players in responding on what we were telling them. Because it wasn't an easy game. Someone can see the score and think maybe it was an easy game, but it wasn't an easy game.
Coach, I watched your game against Josie Stars, and I saw how Lucy was influential playing in the middle. But in this game, he was playing more on the left, and he was more influential again. Where is his best position for you guys to utilize him in?
His best position is a number 10. But now, as part of winning, we need to develop players that they can to adjust to any type of coach, to any type of playing. Because now, if a player, you'll be comfortable in playing one position, another coach comes and see that, hey, when you can play as an 8. So we need to train them now as early as possible, because that will be good as well for South African football. Because if you check, most players, most coaches, they prefer players who can play maybe 2 or 3 positions. There's a reason for that, because some games you will need maybe someone like Lucy. We need him to come deep, maybe as an 8, because one of his attributes that he's having, he knows how to cut the opposition counter. But now with the skill that he's having, and one thing that we must remember as well, he started to play football about a year ago. So football, it wasn't the thing that he grew up. It's just that it's a natural talent. So now we need to try and help him to understand, because of in the game we plan for each and every game. There will be a game that will give him the freedom. Lucy, when you won't mark, the ball will give you. Just when we lose the ball, press what is in front of you. Once they get past you, just stop there. But for now, I think he's adjusting well with the team. But his best position is the number 10.
Coach, thank you very much for your time, and once again, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.